as we simulate a High Five Challenge program here at City Club. The High Five Challenge is a locally produced television program broadcast on KPTV. Its executive producer and host is Wayne Faligowski, who will serve as our moderator today. Wayne will tell us a little bit about himself and the show and introduce the award-winning team from Vancouver's Hudson Bay High School. And he will also introduce the very special, terrified but crackerjack City Club, we hope unbeatable City Club team. I understand that at least one of the members sat up a good part of the night with Trivial Pursuit cards, finally fell asleep, especially when he noted a lot of them were out of date. And I can also tell you that at least one member of this panel, I won't tell you which, has brought her mother with her to support her. Following the contest portion of the program, we will take questions from City Club members in the audience. If you have a question, please line up behind the microphone immediately following the contest portion. Wayne will let you know when to do that. And if you wish to ask a question of a single member of either team or of Wayne himself, please direct your question to the appropriate person. I'd like to hear a question from the mother. I think that would be great. If you wish to pose a question to continue to challenge our team members, you can indicate that as well, and the first team member to answer that question will be declared the winner. So without further ado, and expecting a really challenging and fun next few moments, I introduce you to Wayne, who will tell you more.
Thank you, Fran. And this team of City Club members, I haven't seen as much sweating since the last time I was in a sauna. I think they're ready. I think they're ready to take on this crackerjack team from this side. My background was 16 years working television news at Coin TV from 1977 till 1993, early 1993. And I thoroughly enjoyed doing my consumer reports while I was at Channel 6, saving people money, exposing all the scams around town. But one thing I started to notice, and it was very disturbing to me, is that most of the news on television today when it pertains to youth are only negative stories. They're stories about kids in trouble, in gangs and shootings and drugs and all that. And that's not reality. Most of the kids in high school today are kids like you're going to see here today. They're kids doing a good job. Probably 90% of all the kids in high school today are doing basically a very good job. You just rarely ever hear about them. So I knew I wasn't going to change the way news was being reported, so I decided in 1993 to leave television news and start a High Five Challenge, and it's a game show for high school kids. And we have teams coming all the way down from Seattle, all the way up from Eugene, and we're starting our 4th season on the air. The first 2 years, the show was sponsored by Smith's Home Furnishings, and everybody knows what happened to Smith's. It was an unfortunate happening not only for the show, but for the show, but for 1,500 employees. We all lost our jobs. Smith's was a great sponsor, but they went bankrupt last summer, right before the start of our 3rd season. Well, I had 76 high school teams all ready to go, including Hudson's Bay and teams from Seattle, and they were all 76 high schools. So I had 2 weeks to decide whether I wanted to keep the season going for the 3rd year or walk away from it. Well, I put a lot of work into it, so have the kids, so have the schools, so have the teachers and everything. So I decided to keep the show going this past season without benefit of a title sponsor. And financially, it was, we barely made it through. Fred Meyer was able to kick in some money, and some other sponsors, ABC Technologies and Beaverton and Double Eagle Golf, and a few other companies kicked in some money. So we were able to keep the season going this year. And we had the most successful of all 3 seasons. We had 66 high school teams eventually competed, and we had the championship show just air here a couple weeks ago. Now we've got a new title sponsor. About a month ago I got a call from Hollywood Video, and they were very excited about becoming the new title sponsor for the show. So starting this fall, you'll start seeing Hollywood Video's High Five Challenge, and for Hollywood Video I thank them, because this show needs to go on. We need to start recognizing our good kids. There's been lots of good stories of what happened with some of these kids. I could go on and on about that, but what we're going to do right now is we're going to play a high-five game. Now, I brought most of my staff with me. I've got John Williams, my announcer, down here. I got Gloria Fivas, and I've got Pauline Nortness. They are all part of my production staff. Gloria is going to be scoring the game, and John will be announcing the game, and Pauline is going to watch and make sure that Gloria doesn't mess up on the adding and subtracting of the scores. So let's get started. I'm going to have both teams get off the podium for a second so I can introduce them just like a regular show. So if you don't mind walking off for a second. And as Fran was saying, we will turn the podium over for questions as soon as we're through. And I know that the City Club members are just raring to go, but so are the Hudson's Bay Eagles. So with that, John Williams, let the game begin.
Time for Hollywood Video's High Five Challenge, a weekly game show featuring high school teams from throughout the Northwest. This week, it's a special edition of High Five featuring the championship team from the past season, Hudson's Bay High School of Vancouver, Washington, taking on a team from the Portland City Club. And now, ladies and gentlemen, here's the host of High Five, Mr. Wayne Faligowski.
Thank you, John Williams, and thanks everybody for joining us here today on a very special edition of the High Five Challenge. Actually, it's Hollywood Video's High Five Challenge from now on. This year, we're going to have about 44 high schools competing. They're all going to be on twice this coming season instead of once, and that's going to be a little change. So they'll all get the chance to double their scores, as they say, as they try to make the playoffs. So let's introduce today's two teams. First off to my right, let's have a big welcome for the Hudson's Bay Eagles, the defending champion from this past season. And I'm sure they're worthy opponents from the City Club. Let's have the City Club come on up. Come on, high five team. Now, we have special rules for today, and John Williams, give us some of the special rules for today.
All righty, Wayne, and City Club members, please listen carefully. Each team has 5 students, plus each team is allowed to substitute up to 2 players at the half. Normally, the player on the end is a wild card player. Once a player from one team locks in an answer, the wild card from the other side has just 1 second to decide whether or not to steal the answer. Each wild card may steal up to 3 questions per half, but there's a risk. If the answer is incorrect, City Club, the team loses double the point value. However, during this special edition of High Five, the wild card position has been eliminated. Each show features 10 different categories. Point values of 10, 20, or 40 points have been assigned to each question. And now, back to your host, Wayne Faligowski.
Thank you, John, and it was really fun to watch the Cities Club squirm as you were mentioning the wild card, because they said, the what? The wild card. Normally, during the regular season, each team has the ability to steal from the other side, but we don't have all the buzzers and the bells and whistles with our computer set. So right now we have eliminated the wild cards, so you don't have to worry about stealing from the other side. We also don't have the lock-in buzzers, so whenever someone from either team thinks they know the answer, make sure you raise your hand, and John Williams will recognize you and will give you a chance to respond first. If it's incorrect, you'll lose points for your team, and then I'll turn it over to the other side and let the other side have 2 or 3 seconds to answer. If they're incorrect, they'll lose points. If they don't care to answer the question, they just go on with losing no points. So, with that in mind, we always start both teams off at 2,000 points so you won't end up in a hole, City Club, or you won't end up in a hole, Hudson's Bay. Okay, so here we go. Good luck to both teams. And I will read the category. What we'll do is we're going to have 5 questions per category, and there will be 10 categories total. And the last category of the round, all point values are doubled, so if you're trailing either side, you can try to come back. Or you can actually go more into the hole, either way. Okay, here we go for 20 points, and this is in trivia. We'll start off with 5 questions in trivia. For 20 points, if you are William M. Gaines, you have published this satiric magazine since 1952.
Hudson's Bay.
Hudson's Bay, and that is Lawson.
Mad Magazine.
Mad Magazine is correct, yes, for 20 points. Here we go again for 20 points in trivia. This cartoon character was the first non-human to win an Oscar.
City Club.
Okay, City Club, Mike Burton.
Mike Burton says Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse is correct. Very good. And both teams are on the board. 4 10-points in trivia. The Moral Majority was founded in 1979 by this Virginia evangelist.
Hudson's Bay High
Hudson's
School.
Bay, and that is Lawson.
Jerry Falwell.
That is correct. Jerry Falwell. Very good. You can actually applaud for both sides just as equally. I know you want to boost your City Club members, but let's hear it for both sides. Okay, trivia for 40 points. In all of U.S. history, this many U.S. presidents have been assassinated.
Hudson's Bay.
Okay, Hudson's Bay, and that is Sara Kremen-Hicks.
Sarah says 4.
That is correct. 4 presidents, yes.
Raise her hand.
Now, normally we have the person that rings in give the response, but because we only have 1 microphone per team, we have a team captain who is Ginnie Cooper for the City Club and Lawson Fite for Hudson's Bay that will be giving the responses. So it's not Ginnie Cooper knows all the answers or Lawson Fite knows all the answers. Okay. Trivia for 10 points. For 7 years, Shakespearean actor Patrick Stewart played the captain of this vessel.
Hudson's Bay.
Hudson's Bay, okay. And that's Sara Kremen-Hicks or who? Okay.
The Enterprise.
The USS Enterprise, very good. That is from Star Trek. Okay, now we're going to switch categories. For 10 points, and this is the category 1990, which is sort of current events. U.S. officials consider dropping millions of Mulanian moth eggs on Colombia to eat the leaves of this plant.
City Club.
Hey, City Club?
Cocoa plant.
Cocoa
Greg
plant.
Jackson says.
Yes, that's correct. And who gave that? Greg Jackson.
20. Oh, 10.
John, maybe you could yell out the name of who's raising
Okay.
their hand. Okay, so we'll give them credit. Okay. For 20 points, the year was 1990. This country announced in 1990 that it hoped to turn Clark Air Base into a civilian airport.
Hudson's Bay, Lawson Fite.
Okay, Lawson.
The Philippines.
The Philippines is correct. Very good. 1990 for 40 points. Retired in 1990, this served for 26 years as the nation's swiftest and highest flying reconnaissance airplane.
Hudson's Bay, Lawson Fite.
Lawson.
The SR-71.
That is correct. Or the Blackbird. Very good. 20 points, 1990. City Club, hang in there. 20 points. This major Israeli leader was evicted from his office in 1990. Okay, that's time is up. Okay, Yitzhak Shamir was the correct response. No hands on that one. Okay, 1990 for 10 points. This U.S. Defense Secretary was responsible for the 1990 firing of Air Force General Michael Dugan.
Hudson's Bay High School.
Okay, Hudson's Bay, and who is it? Who's answering?
Oh, I'm sorry, Lawson Fite.
Lawson.
Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney is correct. Very good.
Excuse me, Wayne, is City Club microphones on?
I think they are. Okay, we're going to let them catch their breath. And while they're doing that, why don't you introduce the team from, let's try Hudson's Bay first. Let's do the Hudson's Bay introductions first there, John.
Thank you, Wayne. Introducing the Hudson's Bay High School team, graduate Sara Kremen-Hicks. Sara wants to become a writer. She enjoys English, history, and drama. She placed 5th in state in essay at the academic decathlon. During spring break last year, she traveled with a school group to Peru and actually climbed a mountain on her visit. Next up is Lawson Fite. Lawson is a graduate of Bay. This is Lawson's 3rd consecutive year of competing on High Five. His favorite subjects are geography, physics, and English. He won the 1992 National Geography Bee Championship. Outside of school, he sings in his church choir and says his favorite hobbies include computers, map making, and playing the trumpet.
The City Club is starting, I'm hearing ringer, ringer, ringer.
All righty, moving right along, let's meet Court Tisdale, senior to be this year at Bay. Court enjoys English and hopes to be either a writer or professional drummer. There's a couple of vocations. He is the winner of the Columbian newspaper Fall Writing Contest. Court also placed second in District Solo Percussion Contest. Next, please welcome Sara Backous. She's a graduate of Bay at Clark. Did I skip one?
Oh, I think you got one in reverse order, but I think the TV camera will pan over. Let's do Sara first.
Okay, we back to Sara. Well, it's hard to do this, Wayne. Sara is a graduate of Bay and Clark College. While at Bay, she was on Knowledge Bowl for 4 years, Model UN. She won an academic gold medal in interview at the Washington State Academic Decathlon. She was also in the band. She will major in sciences at the University of Washington. Okay, let's see.
And who do we have left? We have Clay Hanson.
Here we are to Clayton. Okay. Clayton is in his sophomore year at Bay. He enjoys French and history and is aiming for a career in linguistic research. That's even hard to pronounce. How are you going to get through that, Clayton? His first semester as a freshman, he carried a perfect 4.0 GPA. Clayton won the 1995 Washington Varsity Academic Decathlon. He is active in the Boy Scouts. He says he has nearly 50 classical, romantic, and modern era orchestral tapes.
Okay, John, now we also have 2 substitutes that we'd like to introduce, and we brought them up here, and Christopher first.
All righty, Christopher is first. A big high five welcome to Christopher Rich. Christopher hopes to someday become a naval aviator. He's on the school honor roll and is heavy into athletics as well, including football and swimming. His Knowledge Bowl team took second at district last year. In his spare time, he listens to his stereo and hangs out with friends. And finally, please welcome Matt Cameron. Matt will be a junior this year. He enjoys English. He's a member of the Bay Knowledge Bowl team. He's in the jazz choir and plays with the Vancouver Youth Symphony. Ladies and gentlemen, from Hudson's Bay High School, the High Five team.
Okay, thank you, John. And as you were reading those, Mike Burton leaned over to me and said, can we use those 2 for our team? I don't think that would be permissible. We do allow up to 2 substitutes per team, per school, and most schools do have their substitutes. This gets more kids involved. However, there are no substitutes from what I hear on the, unless they want to pick them from the audience. I know there's approximately 2,000 City Club members, and it was real tough finding 5 to be on the City Club High Five team from what I'm hearing. And we've got some stories here to tell in a few minutes about how they got elected to this position. Okay, now let's go back to another category. This will be volcanoes.
Okay.
And for 20 points, the caldera of this volcanic mountain contains Crater Lake, the 2nd deepest lake in the Western Hemisphere.
City Club.
Hey, City Club, okay.
City Club. Andrew.
Andrew.
Mount Mazuma.
Mount Mazuma is correct. Very good. That was worth 20 points.
Very good, Andrew. Fast hands.
Okay, let's check the scores right now. Hudson's Bay. Well, it's not that bad, actually. Hudson's Bay has 2150 and City Club has 2050. You're only 100 points behind. Some of the questions are going to be worth 80 points down the road, so there's still lots of time left. Okay, volcanoes for 10 points. The molten rock that flows out of a volcanic vents and fissures are called this.
Hudson's Bay High, Sarah Kremen-Hicks.
Lava.
Lava is correct. Very good. Little more applause, please. Okay. Oh, even the City Club's starting to applaud for them. That's good.
Well, they didn't have anything
Volcanoes?
else to do, Wayne.
What's that? Got to do something up here. Okay. Oh, you're not that far behind yet. Okay, 20 points. Notice I said yet. 20 points for volcanoes. Now a national park, this California peak erupted on and off for 7 years, beginning in 1914.
Guess who? Hudson's Bay High School.
And who?
Oh, I think it was Lawson.
Lawson,
first.
okay.
Lassen Peak.
Mount Lassen, very good. Yes. Volcanoes for 40 points. Now here you can come back real quick. For 40 points. This black volcanic glass forms when magma cools too quickly to crystallize.
It will be Hudson's Bay
Hudson's
High School.
Bay. Boy, I saw a
Court
lot of
Tisdale
arms
was
go up.
first.
Okay.
Court says obsidian.
That's correct. Obsidian. Okay, now the scores are 22-20 to Hudson's Bay and 20-50 City Club. City Club is stuck on the 20-50 right now, but I'm sure they'll get a few more. Here we go, volcanoes for 10 points. This Indonesian volcano between Java and Sumatra erupted in 1883, destroying 2/3 of the island on which it sits.
Well, looky here. The City Club, Andrew Kiser.
Okay, Andrew.
Krakatoa.
Krakatoa, yes, East of Java. Okay, we're going to switch categories, and now we're going for a category called Named for Country, and this is always a fun one. Here we go for 10 points. These are not that tough. I think you'll get them for both sides. For 10 points, this country's name is a dangerous form of roulette.
Hudson's Bay High School, Sara Kremen-Hicks.
Okay.
Russia.
Russian, yes, Russian roulette. For 20 points, named for a country. This country's name describes a muffin.
Hudson's Bay High School, Sara Kremen-Hicks.
Sarah says England.
English, yes, the English muffin.
Come on, guys, we can do it.
Named for a country for 40 points. Now, you could catch up here, City Club. This country's name describes a bath.
No, never mind.
No, once your hand goes in, you have to...
City Club.
City Club, okay.
Ginnie Cooper.
Ginny.
Rome.
That is incorrect. I'm sorry,
See,
City
I
Club
know, I
loses
told you
40
that.
points. Okay, now I'm going to give
Turkey.
Hudson's Bay 3 seconds. Okay. Clay Hanson.
Clayton's answer, Turkey.
Turkish, yes, Turkish bath. See, now you know how these work. Okay, name for a country for 10 points. This country's name describes toast.
We have Hudson's Bay High School, Lawson Fite.
Lawson.
France. French.
French toast. Okay. For 20 points, name for a country. This country's name describes a waffle.
Hudson's Bay High School,
Hudson's Bay.
Sara Kremen-Hicks.
Okay.
Belgium.
Belgian waffle. Very good. Okay, now we're going to switch categories, and the scores right now read Hudson's Bay 23-20, and City Club got off that 20-50. Now they're down to 20-20.
That would be
For 10 points, American literature. 5 category questions on American literature. Ginny should do fine on this one. She is the director of the Multnomah County Libraries. Okay, for 10 points. After rejecting Catch 18 as the title for one of his novels, Joseph Heller ultimately selected this title.
Hudson's Bay High
Hudson's
School,
Bay.
Sara Kremen-Hicks.
Catch 22.
Catch 22 is correct. I have to tell our audience listening on the radio that hands are going up on both sides, except the hands on my left seem to be going up just a little quicker. So it's not that they don't know the answer. Okay. For 20 points. This annual compilation was published in the mid-1700s by Benjamin Franklin.
That would go to Hudson's Bay High
Hudson's
School,
Bay.
Sara Kremen-Hicks.
Sarah says Poor Richard's Almanac.
That is correct. Very good. No, City Club, they're not reading over my shoulder either. For 20 points. In this classic American novel, Curly has his hand smashed, the old swamper's dog is killed, and George shoots his best friend, Lenny.
Hudson's Bay High School,
Okay.
Clay.
Of Mice and Men.
Of Mice and Men, yes. American literature for 40 points. This angelic but sickly daughter of a plantation owner, Uncle Tom and Eliza, were the 3 main characters in Uncle Tom's Cabin.
City Club, Ginnie Cooper.
Ginny. 3 seconds.
Little Liza.
That is correct, Isa. Next is Eva. Eva, but that's close enough. We'll give it to him. We'll give him that. Eva or Isa. Okay, for 10 points. American literature for 10 points. Thornton Wilder's novel, The Ides of March, deals with the last months of this dictator's life.
City Club, Mike Burton actually had his hand up first.
Mike Burton gets it,
I think he
okay?
was scratching his nose.
Okay, time is up.
Caesar.
Julius Caesar is correct. Very good. And that was worth 10 points. Okay, we're going to switch categories now. We're going to the category of numbers. So get your thinking caps on. For 20 points. This letter is used to represent the square root of -1.
Hudson's Bay, Sara Kremen-Hicks.
I.
The letter I is correct, and all 5 hands were up on that one.
And none over here.
And none on the City Club on that one. Okay. For 10 points in numbers. A perfect square is a number whose square root is this.
City Club,
City Club.
Ginnie Cooper.
Ginnie.
A whole number.
Yes, a whole number or an integer. Very good. And that was worth 10 points. For 40 points in numbers. This describes a number system that uses only... No, I was going to show him the answer, but I can't do that. This describes a number system that uses only the digits 0 through 7.
Hudson's Bay, Lawson Fite.
Lawson.
Base 8.
That's correct. Or octal, either one. Very good. Numbers for 20 points. This kind of number can always be represented by a repeating decimal. Time is up. Okay, we stumped both sides on that one. The answer is a rational number. Rational. Someone's saying, yes, they knew that, but they weren't really sure. Okay. Category numbers, 10 points. In standard mathematical notation, a number written as a superscript is called this.
Hudson's Bay High, Lawson Fite.
Lawson.
An exponent.
Exponent or the power. Yes, very good. Okay, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to meet the team from the City Club. John, why don't you introduce this sterling team from City Club?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the High Five team from City Club, as Fran puts it, the very terrified team. Let's meet Mr. Mike Burton, Executive Officer for Metro. Mike is the former chair of the Business Management Department of Marylhurst College and has more than 15 years of experience in regional and state government. He earned his place on the High Five team by correctly responding to the question, where is the Sea of Tranquility?
Where is it, John?
I'm not up there, Wayne. Be quiet, Lou. Say hello to Ginnie Cooper, Director of Libraries with the Multnomah County Library. Ginnie received a BA from South Dakota State University and an MA in Library Science from the University of Minnesota. Ginnie was also named Librarian of the Year in California. Next up, a big high five hello to Greg Jackson, Director of Public Relations with Metropolitan Group. Greg holds a Bachelor of Science in Journalism from the University of Oregon and has worked as a television news reporter, but we won't hold that against him, and producer. His work earned him an Associated Press Award for news writing. Greg said he was a skydiver in college, so he's used to leaping into things that he knows nothing about. Skydiving might be easier, Greg.
I wonder who wrote these.
Please welcome Denise Thompson. Says she is out for revenge. She is a sales associate with Widmer, Cronin, and Kaplan Realty Group. Denise wants to avenge her loss in the semifinals of the San Francisco Public Schools Quiz Kids contest. Nothing like holding a grudge, Denise. The year was around 1950. And the stumper question was, what is the egg capital of the world? Unbeknownst to Denise, the answer was Petaluma, California.
She's never forgotten that, ever.
And certainly, last but not least, Andrew Kiser is Director of Reimbursement and Decision Support for the Southwest Washington Medical Center. Besides living in Portland and working in Vancouver, Washington, Andrew is a fifth-generation Oregonian, originally from Silverton, Oregon. Ladies and gentlemen, a big high five welcome for our City Club team.
Okay, I think they're ready for this second half. I think they're starting to gain some momentum here. Right now, the scores are they've got 2,080 points. Hudson's Bay in the lead slightly with 2,440. However, we got 5 more categories to go. Now, Hudson's Bay is going to bring on a couple new players to replace. They're bringing reinforcements, folks. Okay. So we'll have 2 new players for the Hudson's Bay team, and City Clubs are going to stick with their original 5 because they're getting hot. They're on a roll, as they say. Okay, here we go with C's.
So are the Blazers, Wayne.
What's this?
So are the Blazers.
Yes, right.
Sea of Tranquility, would that be the first?
Well, I'm sorry, Mike, that is not on this one, I don't think. But that's, the C's are in here. Okay, for 10 points. Situated in Jordan and Israel, this is the world's saltiest body of water.
City Club, Andrew Kiser.
Andrew.
That would be the Dead Sea?
The Dead Sea is correct. Very good for 10 points. C's for 20 points. This is the world's largest inland sea, covering over 143,000 square miles on Iran's northern border.
Hudson's Bay High, Christopher Rich.
Christopher.
Caspian Sea.
Caspian Sea is correct. Very good. C's for 20 points. The Ukraine is largely bordered to the south by this sea.
City Club, Andrew.
Black Sea.
The Black Sea is correct. Very good. The City Club is well-traveled. Yes. They've probably been to all these places. These kids haven't. Okay. Yet. C's for 10 points. A boat trip from Scotland to Norway will take you across this sea.
Hudson's Bay, Lawson Fite.
Lawson.
The North Sea.
That is correct. North Sea. 40 points for C's. The shore of this sea forms the northern border of Poland.
City Club, Andrew.
Baltic Sea.
The Baltic Sea is correct. Very good. And that was a 40-pointer, kids. Okay. Now the scores read 2150 to 2470. Here we go with a new category, American Revolutions. For 20 points. This man served as the American colony's ambassador to France during the Revolutionary War.
City Club, Mr. Mike Burton.
Mike Burton.
Benjamin Franklin.
Franklin is correct. Very good. American Revolution for 10 points. The Boston Port Act and the Quartering Act, among others, were passed by the British Parliament in response to this incident in 1774.
Hudson's Bay, Clayton Hanson.
The Boston Tea Party.
Boston Tea Party is correct. Very good. American Revolution for 10 points. This body first met in Philadelphia in Carpenter's Hall on September 5th, 1774.
City Club, Mr. Burton.
Continental Congress.
Continental Congress is correct, yes.
Who wasn't there?
And although the City Club members are a little older, they're not that old. This is all out of history. American Revolution for 20 points. This document ends with the words, "We mutually pledge to each other our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor."
Hudson's Bay, Sarah Kremen-Hicks.
Okay, Hudson's Bay.
The Declaration of Independence.
You got it, Declaration of Independence. And 40 points for American Revolution. This man opened his pamphlet, The American Crisis, with the words, "These are the times that try men's souls."
It was real close, but Hudson's Bay.
Okay,
Lawson Fite.
Bay, Lawson.
Thomas Paine.
Thomas Paine is correct. Very good. Okay, we're going to switch categories again, and the scores right now read Hudson's Bay 2,540, City Club 2,180, so it's getting a little closer. For 10 points, we got to keep our audience interested. Okay, potpourri for 10 points. Potpourri is a little bit of everything. This California mountain range lies immediately to the west of the Great Basin.
This goes to the City Club,
Okay.
Andrew Kiser.
Sierra Nevada.
Sierra Nevada is correct. Very good. Potpourri for 20 points. When the 1994 season ended, this Giants third baseman led the majors with 43 home runs.
Hudson's Bay, Lawson Fite.
Lawson.
Matt Williams.
Matt Williams is correct. Very good. Potpourri for 20 points. The Zapotec, the Toltec, and the Olmec Indians live in land now occupied by this country.
City Club, Andrew.
Mexico.
Mexico is correct. Very good. Potpourri for 10 points. This current comic strip about a growing family is one of only 2 syndicated American strips whose characters age with time.
Hudson's Bay, Christopher Rich.
Okay, Chris.
Chris says The Family Circle.
That is incorrect. Okay, now those kids always stay the same age. Okay, I'll give City Club 3 seconds.
For better or worse.
For better or worse is correct. Very good. So there was a 20-point swing. And the other comic strip is Gasoline Alley. Gasoline Alley, they also age. That's why Dagwood always stays the same age. Okay. Potpourri for 40 points. In the Department of Defense, ABM stands for this.
Hudson's Bay,
Bay.
Lawson.
Lawson.
Anti-ballistic missile.
That is correct. Anti-ballistic missile. Okay, we only have one category left, although all point values will be doubled. But before we do that, John, why don't you tell us what today's two teams will be receiving in prizes? Both teams always get prizes, win or lose.
Thank goodness for the City Club, huh, Wayne? All players on both teams receive special gift packs provided by Hollywood Video. Each gift pack contains certificates good for 10 free Hollywood Video rentals, a Walt Disney t-shirt featuring none other than Mickey Mouse, how fitting, a very special collector's edition wristwatch featuring the theme from the movie Waterworld, and assorted other goodies. And today's coach from Hudson's Bay High School, Fran Duncan, also receives 10 free Hollywood Video rentals plus 1 hour of free long-distance telephone calls courtesy of Talk and Toss. Hollywood Video salutes both teams. Ladies and gentlemen, your host, Wayne Faligowski.
Thank you, John. And as Fran said, she's spent at least an hour's worth of long-distance calls trying to get her team organized, so this is just payback time for her. Okay, now we're going to go to our final category. All point values are doubled, and the category is World Mountains. World Mountains. And for 20 points, this country, part of the United Kingdom, boasts the Grampians.
City Club, Mike Burton.
Okay, Mike.
Wales.
Incorrect, City Club. Okay, Hudson's Bay, you have 3 seconds.
Lawson.
Scotland.
Scotland is correct, yes.
You're close.
Okay, World Mountains for 20 points again. The Ural Mountains are located in this country.
City Club, Andrew Kiser.
Andrew.
Russia.
Russia is correct. Yes, you got your 20 points back. And let's check the scores. City Club, 22-20 to 26-10. Okay, for 40 points in World Mountains. This mountain range makes up the backbone of Italy.
City Club, Andrew.
3 seconds.
Tuscans.
Incorrect. Sorry, City Club. Okay, Hudson's Bay, 3 seconds. Any hands? Okay, Lawson.
The Apennines.
That is correct. The Apennines. Okay, 2 more questions. And this one's worth 40 points in World Mountains. On this, their country's highest mountain, ancient Greeks believed 12 major gods had palaces.
Hudson's Bay, Sarah Kremen-Hicks.
Bay.
Mount Olympus.
Mount Olympus. Very good. And our final question is worth 80 points. Here we go, City Club. 80 points for World Mountains. In 1889, Henry Morton Stanley was the first European to reach this range of mountains that run along the Uganda-Zaire border.
City Club, Mike Burton.
Okay. Quickly. They're all shaking their heads.
Atlas Mountains.
What's that?
Atlas Mountains.
Atlas Mountains is incorrect. Sorry, City Club. Hudson's Bay, you have 3 seconds. Okay, Lawson.
The Mountains of the Moon.
Mountains of the Moon is correct. And there's your moon question there, Mike Burton. Okay, that takes care of all 50 questions. Let's check the scores. 2,100 to 2,770, and I won't say which side won, but I think you know. It was the team from Hudson's Bay. Let's hear it for that team. Again, I thank you for the opportunity to watch these fine teams. This is what High Five is all about, watching these good kids perform and getting on TV in front of their parents, their friends, and actually being recognized for the good work they do. Let's hear it again for the Hudson's Bay champions. Let's also hear it for the City Club. Now we will open it up for any questions in the audience, and I'll turn it over back to Fran if she has any questions, or anybody in the audience can come up to the podium and ask any questions you want. Anybody out there? No questions? There must certainly be some questions. There's somebody coming up. Okay, while he's coming up, I would like to also let you know that starting this fall, the show will be on Saturday mornings here in Portland on KPTV at 11 o'clock Saturday mornings, and it goes year-round. Okay, yes, you have a question.
I have a question. Either history or geography or whatever you want to call it.
Okay,
It's a combination of both.
All right.
There is a city, a town on the Oregon coast, the North Oregon coast, which is called Garibaldi. And my question is, where did the name come from and why?
Even one of those would be tough enough, but why? Okay, anybody on either side? Okay, I think Mike Burton wants to respond to that. Throw him the mic a little bit, and go ahead, Mike. Oh, you can go ahead and just talk loud.
It's named after an Italian who tried to unite Italy.
Yeah, it's named after Giuseppe Garibaldi, who was the hero of both worlds, because he was a general that fought both in the old world and in the new world for freedom.
Okay, thank you.
In honor of Festa Italiana.
Okay, while you're thinking of some questions, I'd like to bring up the coach from the Hudson's Bay team, Fran Duncan, and also I understand the principal from the high school is here too. Hudson's Bay has been a very strong team the first 3 years of High Five. The first year they won the championship. The second year they actually came in second, and they were really shocked. Wilson High School of Portland beat them in the second year, and then the third year they beat Lake Ridge High School for the third annual championship of High Five. And during those first 3 years, Hudson's Bay has been invited back to compete in the Panasonic Academic Challenge back in Orlando, Florida, the past 3 seasons because of High Five and the way they do in their Knowledge Bowl, and they're representing all the high schools in the state of Washington. Only one team goes from each state. And I want to talk to Fran a little bit about the competition back in Orlando and how this team was organized and how you hate to lose some of the members. Come on up, Fran. Let's hear it for Fran. How did you organize this team?
Well, we have tryouts. In fact, we have some next week, and we go back to school a little early for this, and we have all the buzzer equipment in my room, and I throw out all kinds of questions to them, and the ones that seem to do the best end up as this team. We have 5 teams at Hudson's Bay, 3 A teams and 2 B teams, so I have a lot of kids taking part. In fact, we have more kids on our teams than anybody else in the whole state.
I think you're the Nebraska of the High Five team.
But this is a great team, and I'm losing 3 members. Sara, of course, has graduated, and this Sara and Lawson have all graduated, and we've been together for 4 years, and this is a wonderful bunch of kids. These are, as far as I'm concerned, even though we didn't win in Florida, this is the best team there ever was, and we've had a marvelous time.
How did you do back in Florida?
Well, this year, actually, we came in the same place we did last year. We came in 17th in the nation, but that includes the Marianas, Guam, and Puerto Rico. So besides the states, so we also beat everybody west of the Mississippi except Oklahoma, which was a professional organization that was put together. But we feel very we feel very good about that, and we also beat all the New England schools, and we beat Texas, and that was a good thing because we got a letter from the coach from Texas before we even left Washington, telling us all about his kids and how fluent they were in Cantonese and all these other things, and we're lit. And we ended up with the first round, which we won, 269 points, and they had 70. So we felt pretty good about that. But there are a lot of subjects we don't have in our schools, and of course these are mentioned in the Panasonic questions. A lot of math and science, Latin, which I don't think we teach anymore west of the Mississippi. And but these kids held their own. A year ago, they came in first in the nation the first 2 days we were there, and we were wandering around. We knew we had won our round, and we were wandering around Epcot that first night, and a lot of kids came up to us and said, "Oh, you're that team from Washington. Gee, you did a good job." We said, "Oh, yeah, fine. You know, we won our round." They said, "No, you won the whole thing." So for 2 days, we were first in the nation. Then the questions got really, really hard. And the math is just unbelievable. And you have to be very quick. And a lot of these schools are really into this. They have magnet schools, and they pull in the kids from all over the state. We decided to stay as the team from Hudson's Bay and not pull in anybody else. We won the district, regional, and state Knowledge Bowl tournaments. All of these students with me have taken part in the academic decathlon. We placed 4th in that in the whole state of Washington, and a lot of these kids have won gold medals and placed 1st in the state. So I'm really very proud of them. And I'd like to introduce Mr. Tom Dudley, my principal, who totally supports our academic program. And maybe you'd like to say...
If Tom wants to say a couple words about this team from Hudson's Bay.
Well, thank you for inviting us here today, and I would just say this. We have a great program, and it's thanks to wonderful students, but the other part of our program is excellent parents and a fantastic advisor who just spends countless hours with young people, and I think that's what's true about educators today is that many of them just spend countless hours with young people beyond their regular school day, and Fran Duncan is one of those, and we're just really glad to have her on our staff. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Tom, and thank you, Fran. One thing that hasn't been mentioned yet is Lawson Fite here on the Hudson's Bay team has also been on Jeopardy. Just about 2 months ago, he had an appearance on Jeopardy. And Lawson, come up here for a second. Okay. I want to ask you a little bit about the experience of being on Jeopardy with good old Alex and how it compared to High Five.
Well, one of the big differences was that I lost on Jeopardy. And
you know how that feels.
The City Club knows how that feels.
And I got the final Jeopardy wrong, and so was eliminated from further competition. And I don't watch Jeopardy anymore. I still.
But you do watch High Five.
Yeah, yes, I do watch High Five because High Five is more interesting to me now than Jeopardy, because I've seen the inside of Jeopardy, and well, it's
Pretty tough.
yeah, it's interesting.
Okay. Okay. Yes, Fran has a comment.
The City Club team just wanted me to let you all know that they would have had their coach here saying a lot of nice things about them too, but the coach prefers to remain anonymous.
Okay, well, okay, yes, question.
I think it would be interesting for the public to know the kind of scholarship money that you have created the last 3 years for the young population.
Okay, well, part of my job, in addition to hosting the show and producing it and finding title sponsors and other sponsors, is that I call corporations, companies, individuals for scholarship money, contributions. We also give them recognition on the air for whatever they provide. And in the first 3 years, from prizes and scholarships total, we have managed to collect and hand out to high school students in the Northwest over $100,000 in prizes and scholarships to these schools. And just as you see today, Hollywood Video is providing video rentals and T-shirts, and we've got money coming in from Reese's Fine Foods and other companies. America West Airlines this year was very nice to provide round-trip tickets for this team to go back to Orlando. And Fran said that they were treated like royalty back there. So it takes a lot of involvement from a lot of companies in the area to support these teams, and I really truly appreciate all this that is donated to the teams, because without your support, High Five would not exist. Now, we have a couple minutes left to go, so I'm going to give City Club a chance to catch up by asking a few more trivia questions to fill out the afternoon. Okay, first, another question is where the questions come from. There's a company out of Durango, Colorado called Academic Hallmarks, and they market questions for high school competitions clear around the country. And so every springtime, I order about 6,000 questions. And I have a couple judges that are community college professors. They go through the questions, and we weed out about 2/3 of them, and we break it down to about 2,500 questions for the season. We try to rewrite them so they're a little more understandable for television. We also get questions not only from there, but trivia. I'll just sometimes see something, I say, well, that's a good question, I'll write it down for the next season. If you have any good trivia questions or any other questions that you would like to see asked next season, I'd welcome any questions being sent in. You can send them to KPTV Channel 12 and put a High Five on it, and we'll put in your questions. And you may see, if you watch the show, you may see one of your questions on the this coming season. So another question here is, how many acres are in the urban growth boundary? I think this would be a ringer question. Okay. I don't see any hands yet, but are there any hands? Okay, Mike Burton. It's a moving target. Okay, sometimes. Are we going to get a response? 236,000 acres. I'm sorry, that's incorrect. It's 2,030. Okay, that's close enough. We'll give it to him. Yes, Lou Frederick.
I'd like to know from the students why you decided to get involved with this. I know you've got support from your advisor and you've got support from the principal, but you can have support. Adults can be talking about all sorts of things. You had to decide to become involved in this. Why did you decide to do it?
Okay,
Sarah,
who wants to hand?
You could start off, Sarah, if you would.
Okay. Sarah Kremen-Hicks, why did you get involved?
So I had a whole lot of free time, and I didn't really want it.
That's an honest answer. Okay, anybody else?
The way it happened with me was that a couple of kids who I knew from the band were also knowledgeable, and they invited me along to a practice. And when I got there, I kind of liked it, so I stayed.
Matt, you didn't get a chance to answer any questions, so can you?
Okay, Matt.
Yeah, basically kind of the same thing with Lawson. I just knew people, and I had done it before, a similar kind of competition, and I just enjoyed that kind of thing.
Well, rather similar to Lawson and Matt, there was a middle school Knowledge Bowl-like team that I believe we all participated in, and didn't Lawson do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, and I suppose that you were just picked up by Mrs. Duncan after we entered high school.
Yeah,
So you started earlier. You started when you were in 6th or 7th grade doing this.
yeah.
Sort of.
Similar situation. I had a lot of friends in it, and I was in the middle school one and kind of got recruited.
Well, back up. Do you get the support from the other students to do this kind of thing, or do they sort of?
It's mostly from the teachers. I think all of us here were in the Gifted and Talented program in Vancouver, and the teacher for that in middle school set up the competition, and we took some tests and got selected for the team, and it just kind of started from there.
I guess let me ask the question, is it after 3 years now, some of you members on the team, is it more cool now to be on the team than it was at first?
A lot of people don't even know about it, so it's
I'm on the football team, and some of the kids actually know about it now, and I think it's kind of cool.
So I know you're on the football team and high five.
Yeah.
That's good.
Kind of a contradiction.
Okay, are there any more questions out there? Yes. If you come up to the mic there, because we're on radio and television, so come on up there and ask. That's a little tall for you, but I'm sure we can work it down.
I might be able to answer that a little more, too. When this team wins, which they do frequently, obviously, we always have videotapes of that, and we have television sets in every room in the school, and that's how we do the morning announcements. So when this team does anything, we always take part of that tape, and the AV department will cut it down and edit it a little bit, and then flash some of it on the TV during the morning announcements, so that the whole school gets to see this. And it's okay to be smart. You know, it's not just that I also have a bulletin board outside my room, and I have all kinds of pictures that I put up of all the things we do. And the kids will come by from other classes who really don't know what this is all about, and they will look at this. And some of the kids will ask to get involved, and I think this is one reason why I have 5 teams instead of just 2.
Okay, thank you, Fran. I also might add that when I invite teams, high schools now, I sent out 60 invitations last spring, and within 2 weeks I had 44 schools responding that quickly. So schools are starting to recognize the value of the show, and some of the teams are really taking this serious now. I know a team, the school at Lake Ridge High School in Lake Oswego, the parents chipped in and bought timer buzzers for the kids, so when they have tryouts, and they'll have 40 or 50 kids try out, to select their 7 members, they see who's the quickest on the draw, and so they're starting to take the competition very seriously, and that's what it's all about. It's recognizing and rewarding today's good kids. I appreciate the time that you've given me to introduce High Five to you. Please, if you get a chance, watch the show. Right now it's on Saturday mornings at 10:30 on Channel 12 KPTV. Starting in the fall, our 4th season will start, and it'll be on 11 o'clock every Saturday, and it's a year-round show. Next summer, we're going to have a special competition involving 4 shows with middle school students and junior high students. And City Club said, that's us. We'll bring them on to take you guys on next year. How's that? Anyway, I appreciate the time that you've shared with me and the teams on both sides. It's been a lot of fun, and this high five is for you. Thank you very much.
I know I speak for a truly humbled City Club team in congratulating this wonderful group from Vancouver. I thank Wayne Faligowski very much for bringing this wonderful experience to all of us. I wish I were in high school. I'm glad I got off this team. We stand adjourned. Thank you.
You guys, very good guys, very good. Angela, your geography's bad. And you hung in there with the comic strips when we thought we wouldn't know it.